Hello lovelies, today's video is all about shoes. I'm going to share the 10 shoes to avoid in 2026 and the top trends that you should wear instead. So we all need to wear them, they always fit, and they usually make the outfit. So I've done the research and I've done the shopping for us. Some of these I've been covering over the last few videos, but there are some surprises. Let's get right to it. Welcome back, and if you're new, make sure to hit the subscribe and notification button. I'm here to help you figure out what to wear, how to wear it, and what's worth spending your money on. Because if you love your outfit and you feel confident, you can do anything. The first shoes that are outdated, I'm going to hear, I feel like I should have balloons that like float up in celebration because I know many of you are going to be so happy about this. It's boat shoes. And if you got them and you invested in a really nice pair and they're so you, keep doing this. And this is kind of the thing for all of these pieces and trends. There's like maybe 3 or 4 on these where I see them, I'm like, yeah, I don't care. So it really is about kind of picking, choosing what works for you. Boat shoes, I know as a community, we were always on the fence about, we weren't quite sold. And if we pare down, no pun intended, as to why they were so popular, is because they're signaling a lifestyle of aspiration. Like, if you're wearing boat shoes, then you must be going on a boat. You must have a yacht. So I think this trend, much like many trends in 2025, were very much about like quietly signaling that you were part of this old money aesthetic world. In any case, these are on their way out. And instead, you've seen 2 shoes in particular. The first are the ruched loafers. These are by Aloha's. And they're my newer pair of shoes. They are really comfortable. They have them in 5 different colors, true to size, and they just look so elegant, don't they? They look amazing. So these, according to many publications, are what all the it girls are wearing, and I don't know if that's true or not. I know that they're comfortable and that's what I'm wearing. So I also have a couple of videos on how to style your loafers in case you want more ideas. The other shoe that is really in style to wear instead of boat shoes are the derby shoes. And these are, I call them my Chanel mistake. I love Chanel shoes, they're really comfortable. I wish I would have gotten like a different brand, specifically Satin. There's something about them that feels a little jazz shoes to me, and as a former dancer, I have no desire to ever torture my feet again in any way, shape, or form. So I don't know. I should have thought it through a little bit better. I wanted a thicker sole. The second shoe that's going to make you feel dated is a round toe ballet flat. And I think many of us have this shoe. The round toe ballet flat is one that we've seen every single brand on the planet do their version of it, and I think it just feels a little bit tired. So instead what we're seeing is a shoe that I've talked about a lot over the last couple of months, which is the Glove Ballet Flat. I had some from Satin, they were too big, and then I returned them, and by the time that all that got done, I ended up with the perfect pair of the Quince version of them, which are right here. And honestly, the hardest choice was picking whether or not to get the cognac or the beige color. I chose them in black, and the only reason I haven't worn them is because I have severe snowfall outside. Otherwise, these would be absolutely scuffed up. And one thing I love about Quince shoes is they're always really cushiony and just so comfortable. You've got to love a texture sole as well, because the likelihood of falling, not having confidence when you walk is minimized because of this traction. The third shoe that's out of style are platform sneakers and even wedge sneakers. I used to wear wedge sneakers all the time, and like from 2011 to like 2016. I think I have pictures of me being pregnant in wedge sneakers. Because I'm only 5'4", I'm always looking for height, so it was a great way to sneak in a little bit of a, to sneak in a little bit more elevation. And now we're seeing the opposite of that. So a huge trend for 2026. And I honestly, like for the last 2 years, has just been like no sole, like very low profile flat sneakers. And let me know what you think about these. I think these look really cool and retro, but I do miss the height that those higher wedge sneakers would give me. I do have these by Vivea, which are another kind of huge hybrid of the trend, which is the very low profile, almost sole-less sneaker mixed in with a little ballerina flair with, just like very dainty hybrid of ballet flats with the sneaker. So these are everywhere, from Bella Hadid wearing them to just, they've done a really great job of like placing them on celebrities. and I happen to have a pair. These are extremely comfortable. The fourth trend that is dated are the super sleek, like stiletto shoes that honestly, I have quite a few shoes like that. Like they're saying that this is out of style, which there's no love lost here. These are my most uncomfortable pairs of shoes that I've ever had. I will wear them on date night when I'm just like delivered to the door of the restaurant, and then like I get like pulled out and I don't have to walk anywhere. That's when I wear them. I mean, I've had these now for maybe like 8-9 years and they're not that worn. So no love lost for the fact that these are out of style. What is replacing them is what I'll call some fun curves in the shape of a cone, or just like those kind of slopey heels that you're seeing a lot. I saw this firsthand at Bergdorf's. Specifically, Lavon has beautiful shoes. They had like all sorts of curvature that was so artsy and very much could create the whole outfit. If you don't want to spend that much money, I believe Tony Bianco has a really great pair of this sculptural type of heel, as well as like everything in between. I will put the best finds below in the description, just like everything else that I'm talking about. If you're interested in shopping any of these picks, they're always here on the screen, as well as in the description and in a pinned comment below. The fifth trend that is out of style is the round toe pump. And wow, like these are very dated. Like I think these were like, they always bring me back to being like in corporate America, like in the early 2000s. They just do feel dated. They always just kind of give you a little bit of a homely type of look to your work look. Instead, what we're seeing is a glove pump that just kind of like envelops your foot a little bit more, much like this high vamp flat. But this one kind of just, it kind of reminds me of like a taco a little bit, which isn't selling it. But in any case, these are really trendy. And with this trend in particular, I am going to proceed with caution because I just can't help but think that in a couple of years, this is going to look quite dated and stamped in time. Let me know if you agree with me or if you have found like an amazing pair of glove pumps. But everybody seems to agree, from Nicole Kidman to Vogue, that this is what we're doing. Number 6 made me laugh because I hate these and I'm so happy. They're peep toes. They're outdated according to experts. And I just don't like my toes. Again, it goes back to the dancer thing. So I'm happy to not show my toes ever. These were so big last year, like for a second. I feel like they were everywhere and then suddenly I didn't see them anymore. And instead what we're seeing, instead of a peep toe, we're seeing a peep ankle. So lots of missing ankles, which quite honestly frightens me a little bit because I feel like it's really easy to kind of lose your shoe. So I feel like you have to really pay attention to how the shoe is made and making sure that your foot stays in there because I've heard horror stories of people like walking down the stairs and your shoe flies off and you like kind of tumble down the stairs. Like there's just a lot for me. I just never feel that secure walking in them, but these are so trendy, from the really dainty kitten heels that have the missing ankle, these gorgeous mules, as well as backless loafers. Quince has an incredible pair that I do wear and I felt pretty good about it. I even have proof of it. I went to Home Depot in them and I took this video for something else, but I still have it here as proof. And if I'm willing to go to Home Depot and these shoes, you know they're comfortable and you know that I have confidence in them because I couldn't hang at Home Depot with bad shoes. These are the ones that I'm talking about. They are beautiful ivory, very Gucci coated Quince loafers that again, super cushiony and just like the perfect amount of like hold here on your foot. I feel like because this is a little longer, it hangs onto my foot a little bit better. When this isn't that significant and it's just like maybe half of this, if you know what I mean. I'll put up on the screen what I'm talking about. I feel like you have less likelihood of hanging onto your shoe. So just something to look for. Number 7, mesh flats, dated. Raise your hand if you bought mesh flats. I did. Luckily, they weren't super expensive. They were from Mango. And I wore them until like all the studs fell off, basically. So I was part of this trend. I think now everyone's tired. They don't want to see mesh anymore. Instead, what we're seeing is just plain flip-flops. Can you believe that? I just spotted these from Tiki's that have a square toe. Square toes are everything and everywhere right now. And these just have a very modern look. Like wearing these with trousers and like a white tank and a statement belt, I think is going to be my spring ghost uniform. You know, like let me know what your ghost uniform would be, like what you would show up in. I think I would show up in that, or just like riding boots, straight leg jeans, and like a cute blazer. That would be a good ghost outfit too. Number 8, dated combat boots. Now this, I don't know. I love a good like edgy look. I think it looks so amazing when you have that juxtaposition styling of having like chunky boots like this with a very feminine dress, especially in spring with everything is really gauzy and, you know, is either chiffon or floral. And to have a boot like this is something that I still kind of seek. I think it's just a product of me being from the 90s. I'm totally Gen X through and through. Let me know what generation you are. And speaking of Gen X, I just did a video on 15 outfits from Carolyn Bessette Kennedy to copy that are really easy, so functional, and just she was like the master of capsule wardrobe and mixing really classic timeless pieces with wearable trends. Like she was doing the trends too. She just did it so masterfully. And so if you love that type of style, make sure to head there after this. In any case, people are really down on combat boots. Instead, what we're seeing is still very much a present shoe, but lots of three-dimensional florals, like lots of applique studs, just like anything that's super loud and present. So I think it's like chunky and present in its own way, even if it's not like in a big present boot. I feel like what I'm looking for in this trend is just a very simple pump that has like a big flower on top. Like I'm looking for that and I don't know where to find it, but I will seek it when I'm editing this video and I'll pop stuff up here if I find anything like that. Last year I found a couple by LaRude that literally just sold out right away and I'm still looking for something like that. Now in terms of studs, I have this really fun pair by Inez that is so festive. It's just like a go-to party shoe for me and I have a 15% off discount code for them. Number 9, again, heartbroken, but what feels dated now is wedges. And the reason I love wedges is because, again, can't stress enough, I'm always looking to look taller and they're super comfortable. However, editors and experts are saying that they feel dated now. And instead, what you want to be wearing is block heel pumps. And this plays really nicely into the resurgence of that 90s minimalism and a lot of what I found in my research of Carolyn Bessette Kennedy recently. Inez has a beautiful pair of chunk block pumps that are super elegant, many different brands that are really mastering this shoe. There's something for everybody at every price point. The best part is that they're really comfortable. So even though they might not be like, give the same drama and height of a platform, it still is very wearable. Number 10, kind of along these lines, is platforms. And I got some of the Chloe inspired like huge platforms by, I think it was Steve Madden. And when I met one of my good friends, Sophia, for the first time, we had chatted a lot, kind of like on Zoom and, you know, through texting and stuff. And when I met her in person, she's like, I knew it was you because I saw the shoes before I saw you. And if you're not following Sophia, like make sure to check her out. She's a beauty queen, really amazing curator of beauty and all things luxury. So check her out. But she recognized my shoes before she did me. But hey, at least I didn't get the real Chloe ones, which I think are now on sale. But I think I'll still be wearing mine because yeah, that's just how it is. You wear what makes you feel good, right? Instead, what's really in style is a kitten heel. And I have some to show you actually that kind of incorporate all of the trends, like whether that's kitten heel boots and all the things. But look at this gorgeous shoe. So this has one of those fancy heels that we were talking about. That's interesting. Slingbacks, which haven't got anywhere for years and years. The high vamp, the glove shoe. I mean, this is so beautiful. It's satin. It's by Lily Silk and I'm obsessed. I can't wait to style these. Shoes I think are new for them. Let me know if you have shopped Lily Silk before. I have worked with them on and off for maybe like, I don't know, maybe like 5 years. And so I was really happy to get these shoes. They also have them in a black and white as well if you're not willing to go color crazy. Let me know which of these you're loving and hating. I love hearing from you. And if you're in a trend kind of mood, I also have a really in-depth video on denim trends for 2026, what to embrace and discover. I'll see you there. And if you learned something today, make sure to hit the subscribe button.